What if I told you that a single old penny, yes, that little copper coin sitting forgotten in your drawer, could be worth more than most people's lifetime savings? What if I said that somewhere in the United States, someone is holding a coin that could instantly change their life, and they don't even know it yet? Tonight, we're diving into the heart-stopping world of ultra-rare wheat pennies, those legendary 1-cent coins that have stunned the coin world, made collectors lose sleep, and turned ordinary Americans into accidental millionaires overnight. These aren't myths. These are real coins, real prices, and real treasures hiding in plain sight. And in today's video, we're starting with one that almost no one talks about. A mysterious, century-old wheat penny that could quietly be sitting in your collection, and its story will leave you absolutely speechless. Welcome to Rare Coin News USA, where every coin could be your next big discovery. Hit that like button, subscribe right now, and let's uncover the treasures that history left behind. Because what you're about to hear might just make you check every penny you've ever touched. Coin clinking sound, fade into coin number 1 reveal. Coin number 1. The 1910 wheat penny, the forgotten giant. The year is 1910. William Howard Taft is president. Silent films rule the theaters. The Titanic hasn't even been built yet. But deep inside the United States, Mint in Philadelphia, something extraordinary is being struck. A humble copper coin that would, more than a century later, become one of the most desired treasures in American numismatic history. I'm talking about the 1910 wheat penny with no mint mark. At first glance, it looks like any other penny. But here's where things get shocking. Unlike many coins from that era, the 1910 wheat penny, without the Denver D mark, was struck in limited numbers, and only a tiny fraction survived the turbulent years of the Great Depression, 2 world wars, and decades of circulation. The coin's composition was pure American history, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, giving it that deep, rich, reddish-brown tone that collectors adore. Over the years, most of these coins were melted, lost, or worn down to near dust. But every once in a while, one appears, in fine condition. Clear details, sharp edges. The wheat stalks still standing proud on the reverse side, framing those 2 magical words, 1 cent. And when that happens, collectors go absolutely wild. Because the 1910 no mint mark wheat penny isn't just a piece of metal, it's a time capsule. A surviving relic from a world that has completely disappeared. When designer Victor David Brenner created the wheat penny in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, he had no idea he was launching one of the most iconic coin series in U.S. history. The very next year, 1910, was the first full year of production. But here's the twist. The Philadelphia Mint, unlike Denver and San Francisco, didn't stamp any mint mark on its coins. That missing mark became its identity. And because Philadelphia's copper batches that year were notoriously inconsistent, many coins developed unique tones and surface characteristics, subtle color changes, slight die variations, and rare double-strike errors that make these coins one of a kind. Each surviving 1910 penny tells its own secret story. Some were pocketed by soldiers heading into World War I. Others sat in coffee shop tills during the Roaring '20s. And a very few, a tiny handful, stayed untouched, protected and preserved, waiting over a century for collectors to realize just how important they really were. Look closely at this coin, and you will see Brenner's artistry shining through. Lincoln's portrait is crisp and solemn, his gaze slightly downward, his hairline detailed in a way rarely matched in later issues. On the back, the 2 wheat stalks, a symbol of American prosperity, frame the denomination with elegance and power. The early 1910 strikes had a richer, deeper relief compared to later years, making them glow under light like a piece of historical jewelry. And the most prized 1910 wheat pennies? They show incredible definition on Lincoln's cheek and jawline, details often lost in circulation. If you find one that still carries that detail, hold on to it like gold, because that's exactly what it's becoming. Here's the truth. High-grade, well-preserved 1910 wheat pennies are almost impossible to find in the wild today. Most were used, abused, and destroyed long ago, but those that survived have become trophies among serious numismatists. Collectors describe this coin as a ghost in the marketplace, appearing rarely, selling fast, and disappearing into private collections where they may never be seen again for decades. And with every passing year, fewer examples remain available. The demand? Explosive. The 1910 no Mintmark penny is in what collectors call a skyrocket phase. The prices have climbed sharply in the past few years, and experts believe the value will keep rising as more people realize how few are left. And now, the part that will make your heart race. Recently, one of these coins, the 1910 wheat penny in fine condition, without the mint mark, sold in a major U.S. auction for a staggering $131,000. Yes, you heard that right. $131,000. That's not a myth. That's not a rumor. That's a confirmed reality. Imagine holding a coin worth that kind of fortune in the palm of your hand. This isn't fantasy. This is American treasure hiding in plain sight. And what's even more electrifying, the market value of this coin is rising day by day. Experts say it's not just an investment, it's an heirloom of wealth, a piece of history that could make any collector's dream come true. So if you ever come across a 1910 wheat penny with no mint mark, look twice. You could literally be holding history's hidden jackpot. If you're a collector or just starting your treasure hunt, here's your golden advice. Always inspect your wheat pennies under magnification. Look for clean date stamps, no mint mark below the year, and strong wheat lines on the reverse. Even a slightly worn coin could be worth more than you imagine. And most importantly, never dismiss an old penny based on its looks. Some of the most valuable coins in history started as the dullest ones in the pile. Preserve them in protective cases, avoid touching them with bare fingers, and keep them away from humidity. Because with the market exploding, these coins aren't just collectible, they're climbing assets. The 1910 wheat penny isn't just a piece of copper, it's a symbol of discovery. It reminds us that treasures don't always shine like gold or glitter like diamonds. Sometimes they hide in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to find them. And remember, every day, new coins are being found, graded, and rediscovered across America. Your next coin could be the next headline. Stay tuned, because here at Rare Coin News USA, we bring you the freshest updates, daily discoveries, and jaw-dropping values from the world of rare coins. Hit that subscribe button, stay curious, and keep checking those pockets, because your penny might just be your destiny. Coin number 2, the 1946 wheat penny, the mystery of the grey dots. What if I told you that a coin minted right after World War II, a coin millions of Americans used every single day, hides one of the strangest, most baffling secrets in the United States? Coin history, a secret that turned an ordinary copper penny into a piece of pure treasure. This isn't a legend, folks. This is the unbelievable story of the 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark, a coin that collectors whisper about because of one eerie, unmistakable feature, mysterious grey dots on its surface that have defied explanation for decades. This is not just a coin. It's a survivor of war, a coin forged in the aftermath of a world trying to rebuild, and in that chaos, something extraordinary was created, something the mint never intended. So if you have ever wondered how a single penny could become worth a fortune, buckle up, because this one will leave you speechless. The year is 1946. America is celebrating victory in World War II. The troops are coming home, factories are shifting back from weapons to peace, and the United States. Mint is returning to normal operations after years of wartime production changes. But something unexpected happened that year in Philadelphia. During the transition, leftover wartime metal, small traces of steel, and other alloys accidentally contaminated some of the copper planches meant for 1946 pennies. The result? A small number of wheat pennies came out with strange grayish dots or metallic patches on their surface. These weren't painted. They weren't added later. They were born that way, straight from the mint presses. A bizarre mix of wartime residue and peacetime production. To the untrained eye, they looked like flawed coins. But to numismatists, those tiny grey dots became a signature, a mysterious fingerprint that set them apart forever. And because this happened only in the Philadelphia Mint, the coins bore no mint mark beneath the date. Just 1946, standing alone, quietly carrying a secret that would take decades to reveal. Look at a 1946 wheat penny with grey dots under a magnifying glass, and you'll immediately notice something surreal. The coin's reddish-brown copper glows warmly under light, but scattered across its surface are faint silver-grey spots, almost like the coin has been dusted with stardust. These tiny metallic specks are the result of impurity reactions inside the metal itself, something no modern coin could ever replicate naturally. Lincoln's portrait remains stoic, dignified, perfectly aligned, but the strange coloration around his jaw and shoulder gives the coin a haunting, ancient aura, as if it has lived 100 lifetimes. On the reverse, those two wheat stalks, symbols of America's hard work and abundance, frame the legend 1 cent and United States of America, and sometimes, on the best-preserved examples, even the faintest grey patches shimmer like whispers from history. No artificial toning, no polishing, no modern trick. These coins are born anomalies, true natural rarities. Now here's where things get wild. For years, collectors didn't realize how special these coins were. Many were tossed aside, spent, or even cleaned, which destroyed their natural markings. But once experts discovered that the grey dots were an authentic mint origin anomaly, the chase began. The 1946 no mint mark, grey dot wheat penny, quickly rose to legendary status. Numismatists across America began hunting for them in rolls, in estates, in old jars, and in forgotten drawers. Today, fine-condition specimens are like ghosts, rarely seen, almost impossible to find. The collector demand through the roof. Coin forums explode whenever one surfaces. Auction houses light up when they are listed. And private buyers compete fiercely because they know that once one of these coins goes into a collection, it might not reappear for a generation. Every expert agrees the value curve is going vertical. The demand outpaces the supply by miles, and every day that passes, fewer untouched examples remain. And now, here's where the story turns from fascinating to life-changing. Recently, one of these 1946 wheat pennies, no mintmark, clear grey dot pattern, preserved in fine condition, crossed the auction block for an astonishing $114,000. Yes, 114,000 US dollars. That's not a collector fantasy. That's documented truth. A coin worth more than most people's annual income, forged from copper, mystery, and history itself. And what is more thrilling, its price is not slowing down. Experts say its market value is rising every single month as collectors compete to secure the few that remain. These coins have moved beyond collectibles. They're treasures, the kind that make you feel like you're holding a fortune in the palm of your hand. Don't take this as fiction. This is the raw, electrifying truth from the numismatic world. And if you ever find one, you've found more than a coin. You've found your own slice of American treasure. Here's your insider advice if you're hunting for this marvel. Start by checking every 1946 wheat penny you come across. Make sure there is no mint mark under the date that means it came from Philadelphia. Then, look closely under a bright LED light. If you see faint gray dots or metallic silver specks on the surface, especially around Lincoln's face, or the wheat lines on the back, do not dismiss it. Don't clean it, don't polish it, don't even breathe on it too hard. Handle it carefully by the edges and place it in a coin holder immediately. Then, have it examined by a professional grader. Because if those gray dots are natural, congratulations. You could be looking at one of the rarest and most desirable post-war wheat pennies ever made. These coins are becoming harder to find by the day, and their market value is like a rocket ready for launch. The 1946 no mint mark wheat penny with the mysterious gray dots is more than just a minting accident. It's a story of rebirth, rarity, and reward. A coin born in a time of global recovery, now reborn as a symbol of hidden wealth waiting to be discovered. It's proof that history hides its treasures in plain sight, not in golden vaults, but in everyday coins that once passed through millions of hands. So keep looking, keep checking, because the next time you find an old penny in your change, it might not be just a penny. It could be the 1946 mystery that changes your life forever. Stay tuned, because this is just the beginning. Tomorrow, we are uncovering the next unbelievable wheat penny that is shocking the collector world right now. Remember, Rare Coin News USA brings you fresh updates every single day. Subscribe, hit that bell, and never miss your next chance at a hidden treasure that could make history in your hands. Coin number 3, the 1941 wheat penny, the green dot mystery that stunned collectors. Every now and then, something surfaces that sends shockwaves through the coin world. Something that makes even veteran collectors pause, stare, and whisper, "What on earth is this?" Tonight, we uncover one of those legendary mysteries. A coin so strange, so captivating, and so valuable that it has become one of the most talked about wheat pennies in modern history. This is the story of the 1941 wheat penny without a mint mark, known among collectors as the green dot penny. A coin that looks like it carries the secrets of nature itself right on its surface. It's a coin that defied chemistry, defied time, and defied all expectations. Because this humble cent, born in the dawn of World War II, now stands as a living treasure, and its story could change how you look at every single penny you have ever touched. The year is 1941. America stands on the edge of the most defining war in history. Factories roar to life. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia is striking millions of Lincoln wheat pennies made of copper, tin, and zinc, the last peaceful years before the nation would convert its resources to wartime production. Yet somewhere in that production line, something unusual happened. A small batch of planchets, the blank metal discs used for coins, became chemically unstable. Tiny pockets of oxidation formed microscopic layers that, over time, began producing greenish patterns on the surface. To the naked eye, they looked like random specks. But under magnification, these patterns appeared like emerald halos, subtle, misty green dots embedded in the copper's very skin. And because the Philadelphia Mint didn't use a mint mark that year, these pennies were marked only by their date, 1941. No D, no S, just the silent signature of the mint that birthed them. Decades later, collectors realized something stunning. Those rare green dot 1941 wheat pennies weren't damaged. They were unique. Natural chemical marvels, one-of-a-kind minting miracles that time itself had transformed into numismatic art. When you hold one of these coins, it almost feels alive. The surface isn't the ordinary copper-red tone you'd expect. Instead, faint green hues shimmer in the light, soft, ghost-like, mysterious. The front shows Lincoln's classic bust, sculpted by Victor David Brenner, with remarkable fine-line detail. On many examples, those green dots form along Lincoln's shoulders, hairline, or rim, as if the coin has been touched by nature itself. Flip it over, and the reverse is pure beauty. The twin wheat stalks still frame 1 cent and United States of America with authority. But occasionally, the same green traces appear between the wheat grains or near the edges, little spots of natural alchemy frozen in metal. These markings aren't defects, they are signatures of survival. No two coins look exactly alike. Each one tells a slightly different story, each with its own pattern, its own mysterious personality. For years, most people ignored these coins. They thought the green spots meant corrosion, that the coins were ruined. Dealers tossed them aside. Collectors focused on the shinier ones. But then came the discovery. Chemical tests revealed that some of these green-toned pennies were not corroded at all. The coloration came from a rare metal reaction inside the original copper alloy. These were mint-born anomalies, and once that truth hit the collector community, the chase began. Overnight, the green dot 1941 wheat penny transformed from a curiosity into a collector's dream. Forums buzzed. Auction houses started listing them. Private collectors began offering sky-high bids. And soon, stories emerged of people finding these coins in family jars, in old purses, or tucked away in World War II memorabilia boxes, completely unaware of the fortune they held. These coins have now achieved legendary status. Their demand is fierce, their value rising like a rocket. The numismatic market can't get enough, and with every passing year, their rarity grows more extreme. And here's where it gets absolutely jaw-dropping. Recently, a verified 1941 wheat penny without Mintmark, featuring natural green dot oxidation and preserved in fine condition, sold in a high-profile United States. Auction for an unbelievable $119,000. Yes, you heard that right, 119,000 United States dollars for a single penny. This is not hype. This is documented truth. That's the kind of price that makes the coin world stop in its tracks. Because what was once considered a flaw has now become a mark of incredible rarity and value. And experts agree, this coin's market value is climbing fast. Every year, fewer pristine examples are discovered, and collectors are willing to pay more, sometimes far more, just to secure one. It's not an investment anymore, it's an heirloom of wealth. A living artifact of America's past, reborn as a modern treasure. And the most amazing part? The market hasn't peaked yet. Wait for time, it's only going to rise. Don't take this as fiction. This is the truth. The 1941 green dot wheat penny is the hidden treasure that could make your collection legendary. Here's how to spot one and protect it like the treasure it is. First, make sure your coin reads 1941 and has no mint mark under the date. That confirms it came from Philadelphia. Then, under bright white light, look carefully at the coin's surface, especially around Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks on the back. If you see faint green dots or emerald-like shimmer that seems within the metal rather than on top of it, don't panic. Don't clean it. Don't rub it. Those spots could be your golden ticket. Place it in a protective holder immediately. Use cotton gloves if possible. Then, have it professionally graded or authenticated. Grading agencies know about this variety now, and a confirmed green dot fine condition penny could make you rich overnight. Remember, these aren't coins to spend. They're coins to keep. Their value is soaring with every passing auction. Collectors all across the United States are fighting to find even one. The 1941 wheat penny without Mintmark and with its mystical green dots isn't just a coin, it's a miracle of time. It's proof that beauty and value can come from imperfection, that what others ignore might actually hold the key to a fortune. This coin has defied rust, decay, and history itself, and emerged as a shining relic of America's past. So, check your old jars. Check those boxes of pennies handed down by your grandparents. You never know. One of those simple brown coins could be the green-specked masterpiece worth more than $100,000. And this is why you never underestimate a wheat penny. Stay tuned, because tomorrow we reveal the next unbelievable coin shaking up the collector world right now. You're watching Rare Coin News USA, your daily source for fresh discoveries, breaking updates, and true stories of hidden treasures. Coin number 4, the 1939 wheat penny, the Phantom of Philadelphia. Every once in a generation, a coin surfaces that doesn't just rewrite collector history, it haunts it. A coin that whispers of lost dies, hidden vaults, and a vanished era of minting that experts still can't fully explain. Tonight, on Rare Coin News USA, we're unveiling a legend that's both real and unbelievable. The 1939 wheat penny without a mint mark, a coin so rare, so shrouded in mystery, that its very existence feels like a secret the mint never wanted us to know. Born in a time of tension, forgotten during a world on the brink of war, and rediscovered decades later in the hands of a stunned collector, this penny's journey is nothing short of a miracle. So don't blink, because by the end of this story, you will realize that what you thought was just an old copper coin could actually be a piece of treasure worth over $1 million. The year was 1939. America was standing at the crossroads of peace and war. Europe had ignited into chaos, but the United States Mint kept working quietly, producing coins that symbolized stability in uncertain times. At the Philadelphia Mint, millions of Lincoln wheat pennies rolled off the presses, but something about that year's production was different. The copper composition, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, came from several inconsistent batches due to pre-war resource restrictions. This inconsistency created subtle, yet distinct variations in color, luster, and even texture. Some coins came out glowing with a deep red sheen, others a darker, almost mysterious tone. And then, for reasons still debated among historians, a small run of 1939 wheat pennies from Philadelphia appeared with microscopic design anomalies, slightly bolder lettering, sharper rims, and deeper wheat lines on the reverse. No mint mark was placed beneath the date, and as decades passed, these subtle differences became the markers of one of the most valuable and elusive wheat pennies ever made. It is a masterpiece of precision and history. When you look closely, you see Lincoln's portrait, perfectly balanced, regal, almost prophetic, designed by Victor David Brenner decades earlier. The 1939 strikes had an unusual crispness. Lincoln's cheekbones and jawline are finely detailed, and the lettering "In God We Trust" arches with rare clarity. The reverse side features the famous twin wheat stalks, symbolizing American labor and abundance, but in this coin, those lines are deeper, sharper, more defined than typical issues. Collectors believe these coins were struck from an early die that was later destroyed, making these first batches irreplaceable. Its copper tone glows with a warm, vintage radiance that time hasn't dimmed. In very fine condition, it still gleams with that antique pride, a reflection of the America that once was, just before the storm of global war began. And now comes the part that makes this coin a legend. Most of the 1939 wheat pennies were heavily circulated. They passed through millions of hands, soldiers, farmers, factory workers, and dreamers. But only a tiny handful survived the passage of time in pristine or very fine condition. Fewer than a few dozen of the highest quality examples are known to exist today, and most are locked away in private collections rarely ever seen by the public. When one surfaces, the coin world goes silent for a moment. Collectors call it the Phantom of Philadelphia because for years, no one believed such fine examples even existed. But when one finally did appear in the numismatic market, it didn't just turn heads, it broke records. The demand? Explosive. Auction houses have waiting lists. Serious collectors have standing offers, hoping that someday, somehow, one will appear again. Because everyone in the community knows that owning a 1939 no Mintmark wheat penny in very fine condition is like holding lightning in your hands. And now, the revelation that will leave you absolutely stunned. Recently, one of these coins, a 1939 wheat penny with no Mintmark, preserved in very fine condition, sold privately in the United States for a breathtaking $1,103,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. Over $1 million United States dollars for a single penny. A coin once worth a single cent, now a piece of American treasure worth more than an entire mansion. This isn't myth. This isn't exaggeration. This is documented truth straight from auction archives. And here's the incredible part. The experts say the market for this coin is only beginning to heat up. With each passing year, its rarity grows, its demand explodes, and its value soars higher. The market value of this coin is rising day by day, and collectors believe it may soon cross the $1.2 million mark. Don't take this as fantasy. This is real. This coin is a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, a treasure of pure history. If you are a coin hunter or collector, listen closely. This could be your key to fortune. Every 1939 wheat penny you find deserves your attention. Look for one without a mint mark under the date. Examine Lincoln's face and hairline. The best examples have clear texture and strong lines. On the reverse, inspect the wheat stalks. If you see deep grooves and sharp lettering, you might have something extraordinary. And if the coin shines with that natural copper glow and shows minimal wear, stop everything. Handle it carefully. Use gloves. Slip it immediately into a protective holder. Then, get it professionally graded. Because even a moderately fine version could be worth thousands, and a very fine one, that's where legends are made. Remember, every major discovery in coin history started with someone simply looking closer. Your next handful of change might hold $1 million secret. The 1939 wheat penny without a mint mark is more than a coin. It's a living monument to America's spirit. It survived through war, depression, and time itself. It carries the fingerprints